This is the beautiful city of Chattanooga, Tennessee. This city is known for its scenic landscapes, outdoor attractions, and growing economy. There's plenty to do here between the Tennessee Aquarium, Rock City, Ruby Falls, the Tennessee River, and the surrounding mountains. Chattanooga has been twice voted Best Town Ever by Outdoor Magazine. It also appears on Top 10 Cities to be Young and Broke. Chattanooga is a young and growing town that is home to a large art community, a thriving musical presence, and food from every culture. This is the Chattanooga that most people see, but behind the curtain, shoved into the shadows, is the increasing homeless population. East 11th Street has long been the hub of Chattanooga's homeless community. Created by area churches, the Chattanooga Community Kitchen opened in 1982. What started as a soup kitchen now offers a variety of homeless services. The Homeless Healthcare Center across the street was one of the first healthcare centers dedicated to only serving the homeless when it opened in 1988. In 2018, the center provided care to 4,070 individuals, 155 more than 2017.
My name is Dr. Karen Moyer. I'm the medical director of the Homeless Healthcare Center, and I've been in this position for 17 years.
I'm Karen Gwynn. I'm the executive director here at the Homeless Healthcare Center, and I've been here for 20 years.
And I'm Cynthia Williams. I'm the health program manager, and I've been here for 4.5 years.
We have about 73 people that come in every day for services.
We have in-house primary health care. We have case management services. We have dental services. We have alcohol and drug treatment services, as well as mental health treatment services, all under one roof. So that's a typical day. We do everything. All the services that we can't do under this roof, many of them, they can get right across the street. It just really helps having all of that right here.
People are there because of, their poor decision making, and then it can be their fault that they're homeless when there's so many factors that can surround it and impact someone's situation. So I think that's a misconception, and that it's somehow their fault.
Well, it started out, like I said, with an automobile accident. I had worked 33 years doing the same type of work. I had a CDL. I was a truck driver. I had one accident. I came in on a Friday to take my time off. I got hit by a drunk driver. That pretty much ended my career and my life at that point.
Well, my road was mostly drugs. I had support from other people that did drugs. I worked the streets. By me working the streets, it enabled them to smoke every day, every time I smoked. So it wasn't a problem for me to stay at somebody's house.
Came out of the nursing home basically homeless, no money, no place to live, nobody to turn to. I was homeless, living out here in a wheelchair without a leg, sleeping in the wheelchair. Well, I finally gave in after getting beat up and robbed. I decided to go in and seek a case manager. They assigned me Miss Babs.
But eventually you get tired. And I just started getting tired, and so my son said that, I told him that I wanted to stop. So he said I could come and live with them. My next step was working with Miss Babs. And she helped me get Section 8. The stuff that everything she told me I needed to do, I did it. Because this is something that I wanted. I wanted to get away from the streets. I didn't want that type of life no more.
She immediately went to work. She started putting applications in for housing, and she got my medications, got me some temporary housing set up to get me a shelter. It's out there for people. You just got to know where to go and who to ask. But if you ask, there's lots of things they can do. People can help you. You just have to give up that pride and ask.
And most of the time when they used to ask me, I told them I live on 2525 Easy Street. 2525 Easy Street. And they're like, where's that? Easy Street. I'm on Easy Street right now compared to what I used to be on.
First of all, we need to learn how to love each other and open the door. Praise God first. Learn to love one another and have compassion. And we need to remember where we came from, because we're all just a paycheck or something like that for being homeless. And that's the truth. But sometimes people don't realize when they're in a certain position that they're only a snap away from being in the same spot that we are. There's a whole lot of money changing that's going around. They're taking the money and doing the wrong things, using it for the wrong purposes. There's money here, but people are not using it for what it needs to be used for. They're making the rich richer and making the poor poor. And that's what's happening. You know I'm telling the truth. You know that. They could actually open up some of these abandoned buildings that are not being used, and use them for certain resources. Instead of people going out on the sidewalk, it's just like next month, I think sometimes we're going to be kicked out of here. Like kicking a dog out on the street. That's the way I feel like I'm being treated. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. Yeah.
Just like with a prison or anything else, they go, we need to put people in jail and stay there. Well, how are you going to pay for that? Well, they need to figure out a way to pay for it. We're going to raise your taxes. No. Well, we've got this piece of property out, but it's about a mile from your house. No. So people need to change their mentality or change what they want. Same with the homeless. They need to figure out a way to, help them, and it may end up being a mile down the road from you, and you need to figure out a way to help and get that done. So that's, people just need to change their mentality.
The main problem the homeless in Chattanooga face is the lack of affordable housing. Affordable housing in Chattanooga is declining at a rapid pace, especially with the recent closing of Chat City Suites, Economy Inn, and Lookout Mountain Suites. At these places, the homeless could rent one room for under $650 monthly with no questions asked, no credit, or background check. Camps where the homeless often call home are being bulldozed regularly. Some of these camps have been established for years and provide a community and a support system for residents that otherwise they would not have. It's important to remember that just because someone does not have a key to a front door does not mean that he does not have a home. He does. The definition of home, the place where one lives permanently, especially as a member of a family or household. When camps are bulldozed or housing is eliminated, these people now have to find another place to set up a tent or lay their head, whether it be in the woods or on a church doorstep. In many cases, they are left to find another family.
When you're trying to get into what the city calls low housing, affordable housing, they're talking 800 and a little bit up. Most of our clientele here draws, Social Security wise or disability wise, draws a paycheck of less than 800. So where can you go that you could afford to spend $800 a month rent and $800 deposit to get in a place? They never could come up with the deposits.
Plus the utilities.
Yes. So that's why weekly motels really took a turn to where it was permanent housing for these people here.
We just have to do something. We cannot just say, oh, okay, that's not my problem. Like, we really did need to do something. They're not used to being treated as people. They're like outcast in the middle of the community, and nobody wants them.
Yes, we are short on housing. It has put a greater demand on our services. There were people who were staying in these types of living situations that never considered themselves to be homeless, but with that resource being pulled out of the pool, there's not another resource that they can call on to be stably housed on their own. So those folks are circling into us and just making a bigger client population for us to try to help.
A lot of Chattanoogans in our community are cost burdened with the rent because they're paying more than 30% of their income for their rent every month. And what that means is they don't have the economic stability to live the lives they want to live.
In this place here, the community kitchen, the homeless health care, Salvation Army, the whole complex is an immense support for people. There's a lot of passion here. Glad for that. So you're doing one of the things that I'm talking about. You're generating awareness.
Homelessness is a problem, is something that no one individual or entity can solve. It really has to take a consolidated effort. We really all need to come together in a collective voice to try to identify what our community needs to do to combat this problem, to really be able to move the needle on it in any significant way.
Unless they can figure out what they're going to do with people to house people that need this kind of support and community feeling, I just feel like they're going to be wondering. You know, even though we had 141 rooms, we didn't even touch the homeless community. It's just a drop in the bucket, a drop in the bucket.
Chattanooga, we can do better. In order to come up with a plan that successfully helps our homeless population, we must look at what other cities have done. Jersey City, New Jersey has maintained relationships with landlords to provide low-income housing, to keep affordable housing actually affordable. A county-wide trust fund was also established to help cover the extra costs. In New Orleans, there were over 11,600 homeless people after Hurricane Katrina. A housing-first approach was put into place, and anyone who was homeless, even if they were alcoholics, drug addicts, or even felons, qualified for housing. Unlike other cities that have reduced homelessness, we do not have a homeless shelter. Most importantly, we do not have enough affordable housing options. Our city also has the 7th fastest rising rent in the nation, and the residents who are not able to afford such a high rent will soon have no place to live, adding on to our ever-growing homeless population. If we are going to help the homeless, we need a plan that works, and we must learn from other cities and adapt our plan to successfully solve our homeless problem.